Okay, today is not regularly scheduled programming. We're flying by the seat of our pants, and we're not really talking about books. So let's chat. Unless you live under a rock and you're in the US, you know that Roe v. Wade was overturned last week. I have posted a video since then, but I filmed it much earlier than that, and I haven't really been able to film since then because I don't have it in me. First things first, because I have no fucking clue what algorithms can look like. This could be just like normal booktubers. Who knows what will happen to this video? But hi, for those of you who want to argue against bodily autonomy, your opinion is not valid. You are wrong, and I have no patience for bullshit. So if those make it into the comments, it will be deleted. I don't care. Your opinion is not valid. Sorry. It's not even a real opinion. It's just a bad take. I can't even validate it with calling it an opinion. You're just wrong. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to chat really quick. This Roe v. Wade being overturned is specifically about abortion rights and healthcare for folks who have a uterus on the surface. But this is, on a deeper level, this is about control. This is about control of the body. And this is about building a fascist state. We're not going to pretend like I'm an expert, so we'll just get that out there. This is the erosion of rights. And, this being such a big thing like abortion, there's a lot of more people talking about it. It impacts, over half the population potentially directly, the other half indirectly, whether or not they want to admit it. It's just total shit. The Democrats in office are fucking useless. I don't have patience for their bullshit. And for the past week, I have just kind of been sitting here, kind of dealing, I don't know, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Death scrolling on Instagram and other social medias, realizing I have no answers and everything's going to shit. I'm gonna pop some resources that have been helpful for me below. So some of these are resources on what you should do next if you care, which is if you have the ability to donate to your local abortion clinics. I am in a state where it is still protected. That unfortunately is not true for a lot of the US. I'm gonna pop that down below. You can also fund other organizations, and I'm gonna pop in a video I watched of an activist, and they just had a lot of really powerful things to say that really resonated with me personally. A lot of advice, but a lot of hope of moving into the future. I found myself nodding along a lot on things I already agreed with. I found myself learning things. It kind of pulled me out of some sort of spiral and made me want to make this video. I do recommend too that if you are in a position where you can donate funds, utilize your company match program if you have one. I do and am able to take advantage of that. Some companies do have match programs that they don't like to tell you about because then they're spending money. And for those of you who work for companies who want to stay neutral about something like medical rights, even though you work in the medical field, you can make them pay anyway. I just have to say that this is bullshit. I have to say that I feel like a lot of people probably feel this way. I just wanted to get resources out there for the few followers that I have in case you hadn't come across them yourself. And I also just want to say that I've kind of alluded to this, but this is not just about abortion. This is about the erosion of all people's rights. This is not just about white women. This is about trans people. This is about people with disabilities. This is about people of color. Like, this is the whole, you can't just focus on the small part, right? You can't just, even though this is very rightfully, we're all pissed about Roe v. Wade getting overturned, it's not just that's happening. And if you can just even look at some of the Supreme Court decisions, especially around Indigenous folks, in the past week. So maybe I'll leave you with some book recommendations. I don't know, this is a booktube channel. It feels kind of disingenuous because I don't even want to talk about books with you guys right now. But like I just said, this isn't just about healthcare for people with uteruses. So I'm just going to have some recommendations of nonfiction that kind of helped me to open my eyes to things happening in the world, kind of helped me to formulate my own ideologies about things, helped me just kind of see the world through a more knowledgeable lens. So the first one, which is one of my favorites on the list, is The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander. It is a well-known, popularized text for a reason. Her points are really well laid out, and it's just great. I'm bad with words right now, in case you couldn't tell. The next one I want to recommend is Twisted, the Tangled History of Black Hair Culture by Emma Dabiri. In this, she specifically talks about Black hair culture and the use of Black hair and Black bodies as a means of control. It's Not About the Burqa by Mariam Khan. This is, I think it was just edited by Mariam Khan, but there were many contributors. These are an essay collection centering around, or at least one of the main ones, I read this a few years ago, centering around the burqa, centering around Muslim women and their kind of interaction with their faith. Next one is Disability Visibility, First-Person Stories from the 21st Century. This was edited by Alice Wong. This again was an anthology of multiple contributors. Contributors all had disabilities, but came from a varied walks of life. This was very intersectional. I thought all of the pieces were, it was consistently good, and just a wide range of beliefs, thoughts, perspectives. I think it's a great novel, or a great anthology to read. The next one I want to talk about is Pushout, the Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools by Monique W. Morris. This is kind of about the school to prison pipeline that has developed. This is very crossover with the New Jim Crow, but it kind of more from the perspective of schools and how schools now have more developed police forces, and we now kind of criminalize children instead of treat them as humans, and just crazy things like 6-year-olds getting arrested for being violent. I can't. Next one, Medical Apartheid, the Dark History of Medical Experiments on Black Americans from Colonial Times to, I believe, present, it says, by Harriet A. Washington. This is another one about control of bodies, specifically control of Black bodies. In the medical field, this idea of controlling people's bodies is not new, and it is not something that we should pretend groups of people have not faced in America up till this point. This one, I don't have one specifically on Indigenous or Native American women, but that is also a group of people who have been forcibly sterilized. I think that there's been a lot of rhetoric of acting like this is like this is new, and it really isn't. It might be new for specific groups of people, like myself growing up as a white woman in America with Roe v. Wade being in place for the entirety of my life. It feels new, but it's not. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're having these conversations. And those are all the books that I have to talk about. Sorry if I got a little preachy. I'm glad I kind of kept myself composed because I'm fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. And like the next one will be about books, I swear. Okay, bye.